This is a HeadGum podcast.
Wow, is this thing on?
Oh my god, please don't do that.
That's actually how we opened up our very first podcast episode.
It's a throwback.
We tried.
You did it on purpose.
It's a great segue into
it being here.
Into this
I hope
episode.
somebody answers us saying, yeah, it is on.
I can hear you.
There's
Yeah.
somebody
I
out
am
there.
here I am.
Well, hello everyone. This is Coffee with Rachel. I'm Rachel.
I'm Chris,
And
and
whoa, there's more voices. I'm not just throwing it around again.
I feel as though us with collabing, it's like we have nobody for 6 months, and then suddenly we have like a million different people on the show within like 2 weeks. And
When you
so
say the spring is the season of collabs,
people are coming out of hibernation, they're like, let's meet.
the faces that were just made, they were like, I don't know what that means.
Yes. We had to confirm with one another through our eyes.
right? Yeah.
Is it?
We got it.
It is. Yes.
I just feel like the warmer seasons bring the YouTubers out, and we are at the conventions. We're doing
Does
things.
any season bring the YouTubers out?
Of the
No.
closet? Yes.
That's definitely summer.
So-
and safer experience.
Who are these unambiguous voices right now? Like, who do we have here on the show today? Who the fuck are you?
Well, my name is Alayna.
Yeah.
You may know me as Miss Fender on the interwebs.
Yes. The guitar. Very nice.
Except
yeah.
not at all.
She's a
Do
humanized
not,
guitar.
do not go to my channel and expect music. Because
I didn't
it's
know you
not
had
happening.
guitar tutorials. That's amazing.
She's so good.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I learned everything. I know.
Have you watched a guitar tutorial on YouTube?
I've
Because they're
watched-
the greatest things to watch ever, because
Yeah.
they're like, here we're gonna have some tabs for like this song, check out my website, and here's my ebook.
It's
and
always
here's
40
all
minutes
these things,
before the
like-
first chord.
And they're like,
Yeah.
and this is G. And thanks for watching.
Make sure you rate me on ultimateguitar.com. And then, who are you again?
I'm Haley, and you will find music
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
where I
Yes.
be. So yeah,
Where are you?
Which
be?
is where
where I be is on the internet, on YouTube's and
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. No, not really.
No, I
Kinda.
thought you had a SoundCloud.
No.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
See, this is
similar
where
vibes.
I know nothing about music.
Yeah.
I should stop talking during your turn.
Thanks. That'd be great.
I'll lean back.
And you
Thanks,
also
yeah.
have a podcast,
Yeah, I just started one with another fellow YouTuber, Joanna Spicer, and it's called Friday Night In.
Yeah.
And it's every Friday,
I can tell
except
from
not
the,
today.
the title that I would enjoy this already.
Yeah.
We
That's-
spend many a Friday in, I would say.
and that it's for the folk who don't leave the home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not making real sentences.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the podcasting industry is that. It's the introverts that are like, well, I can talk for an hour to no one,
Exactly.
And there she is.
And that's our demographic.
Yeah.
No one at all.
So, what kind of videos do you guys make? I know you said that you made music, Haley, but what other kinds of videos? Alayna, you have some topics like, I don't know, sexuality. I heard,
Yeah,
I
so,
heard some
like,
rumblings.
We act as though like
Through
we
the
know,
grapevine.
I pretend
Never
I'm
met you
interviewing
before.
and I know them.
like
it's
we
a
know
mess.
absolutely nothing about you guys once we start recording. It's like we forgot everything. Who are you again? Wait.
Perfect. Yeah, I do videos on sexuality. I have a comedy education series called I Don't Buy It.
Yeah.
Bi as in bisexual.
I'm a
I
fan.
get it.
Whoa.
You That's
get
a
it?
good pun.
Then you're my demographic.
I love
That's
it.
perfect.
I love puns. I'm here for that.
Good.
It's
Well, there you
fantastic.
That's the
go.
reason I wake up.
Yeah, that's the reason I
This
get
in this
it.
that in this coffee.
In the cup. In that specific cup.
There's,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah, we have
mesmerized.
The
coffee.
breast cup.
The breast cup.
I'm not
It's the breast
comfortable
cup
with
I've ever
with
seen.
the T word, so I'm gonna call it the breast
Well, you don't
cup.
like tits?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
man.
What? Is it tits you don't like?
It's, I mean, you're close, yeah.
Oh, it's the tit with the
Teat.
ending.
What about
oh.
teat?
Ugh.
Like a cow's teat. No, wait.
I think that's
better.
worse.
That is worse.
I agree.
Okay, but other than sexuality and breasts, I talk about mental health, like positive psychology, self-compassion, mindfulness. Those are kind of, that's the
Those are
jam.
boring. No, I'm just kidding.
You invited me
Oh,
here.
that's right.
I've never talked about mental health before ever. Like,
Right.
I don't
or
even know what that
sexuality.
is.
It's
Yeah.
like a totally foreign
crazy.
subject to you.
Yeah, definitely.
What are we even drinking right now? We've got some coffee.
Oh yeah, it's that same Whole Foods stuff that we've been drinking now. That's not as good as the hometown blend, but we have it. It's here.
If you're
It's
sick of hearing
alright.
us talk about it, send us coffee to our P.O. box. Link in our Twitter. But yeah, so what is the coffee fact before we get into the sexuality and the
this one
tits?
is just like the business hacked. Some businesses pump the smell of coffee into their shops to trigger customers to crave a cup.
That would work on me.
Like grocery stores?
Like a coffee shop, I'd assume. Like Starbucks.
Wait,
Are they doing
Starbucks
that?
says, I worked there.
Wait.
I was there.
But what coffee shop would need to pump more artificial coffee smell into the shop? Like, they're making
Are
coffee.
they not making? Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
If Hollister
all a
sold
lie?
coffee,
If
they would do it.
True.
Hollister sold coffee.
I mean, that would work on me, though, because when I brew the coffee in the morning, that almost gets me more hype than the actual bev.
Honestly, I have
100%.
a horrible addiction to coffee, so that would absolutely get me.
Would you just immediately spend any money that you had?
Yeah, $5 here. Take it. I'll have that cup of coffee.
The thing is, though, how come they can do that, but, like, Yankee Candle cannot make a coffee candle that actually smells like a real coffee, you know? The artificial candle
These
industry...
are the real questions.
That's the stuff that we should really be getting.
Yeah,
into.
this is
Yeah,
where
I gotta
screw
dive
the
deep.
mental health, screw the sexuality.
Yankee
Let
Candle.
Yankee
Maybe we
Candle.
should get a representative from their organization.
Or Bath and Body Works, where we actually buy candles from.
They're
They
just
had a
very...
good coffee one though, didn't they?
Maybe.
Anyway,
It was probably called, like, Coffee on the Bahama Oceans.
Yeah.
We should
a
just...
little bit of coffee with hibiscus and butterscotch.
Ooh, they always
Oh my
throw
God.
hibiscus right in. Like, it doesn't matter what
What
it is.
hibiscus?
Have you ever even seen one? I don't know.
I don't know her.
I just think of Mariah Carey every time. So yeah, so we've got the coffee.
Lila really fucked up right now.
Lila trying to. This is the rare moment where we wish we had video footage.
She
Because
just tried to jump onto her little stool nest thing, and only her front two paws made it.
sad and tragic
But
ways.
she made it. She's good.
Yeah, the rest of her
She's
climbed up
licking herself
after,
as, like,
but
I
as
deserve
if it
this.
didn't happen.
Yeah, I deserve a little
that
lick.
She's like the runway model that falls. Like, she gets back up and she's elegant.
She's like, but
Yeah.
I'm still hot, so it's
yeah.
She is, what's that actor's name that everybody loves?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh. Don't you put
I'm
my kid like
indifferent.
that. But yeah, so we've got some coffee, we got some OK Company, and we're gonna talk all kinds of things, you know.
Is this the way you treat all your guests?
Yeah.
You're just so mad we're here.
If I'm not dragging Chris, I gotta drag somebody.
Right,
Exactly.
that's fair.
You
You
can
know,
take
that's
me
the
down.
day-to-day around
Take
here
us
is
down a
dragging
peg.
me, so...
90% of this podcast is me shitting on Chris, and that's fine, you know.
Literally?
Mm,
Yeah,
Is that what
actually,
people-
It
is that what
depends
people
on the
tune in?
week.
it's a new form of ASMR.
Depends how much fake cheese I've consumed by now.
Oh man. For real
Oh my
cheese.
god, have you guys tried the Daya or Daya, the mac and cheese from them?
The boxed one.
I'm actually a fan.
It's
I stand
not,
it.
I don't.
Oh my
The
god.
odor of making her
You don't
made
like it?
me leave. But this apartment is also very small, so it was...
The odor of her made me leave.
You never know.
my review of my last date now. But yeah, so I would say all four of us are heavily onto that plant-based vegan vibe here. You know?
Oh, about that plant life.
Yeah, so we definitely have
Heavy.
some questions about that as well. But how long have you guys been doing that whole veg life? I like to say veg sometimes. You
I
know?
love it.
Life.
I've been going for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Year and a half, I'd say.
Yeah?
We were getting close, and then
What?
now we like legit tried.
Yeah, when did we do this? October?
That was when my
it?
bowels died.
Yeah, that was when your bowels died. Okay. Yeah,
Your
let's
bowels
do that.
gave up, and you're like, it's time.
Rip.
It
It's
happens.
time
To
to,
the
make a
colon.
change.
Did you guys, so are you guys both full vegan?
Yes,
Full on.
sir.
Like,
Did
full.
you guys go like vegetarian first, like make the half step, and then like, okay, I'm gonna go the whole
No,
way?
I just
No.
went in the thick of it. Like, just fucking raw dogged it. I don't even know what that
See, that's what she said.
means. She did, I heard. Yeah, it happened like within a span of maybe like 2 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was very
What
Quick.
spurred it?
Yeah, what
conspiracy,
influenced it?
baby.
Yes.
that
really
that
sucks,
shit
yeah.
fucked me up.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is my new life, and I'm ready for it.
Immediately goes to the kitchen, throws out everything.
I like bought a full watermelon. I'm like, okay. I
Just
okay.
one watermelon. What's
Yours
the
was
other
like
one
a
called?
video.
Yeah, so Forks Over Knives
Yeah, that's
was the
good
one
too.
for me. Because, like, so Forks Over Knives is, like, the health-based documentary for, like, in favor of a plant-based diet. So I had watched that, and I think this is actually quite funny, but Dallas and I decided to try veganism for 30 days because of Forks Over Knives as a joke to make a video about it.
Right.
And so we like sat down together beforehand and talked about how much it was going to suck and how like that was going to be the video. It's just that
It's
veganism
not
is hard
possible.
and awful and expensive and
Gross.
nothing good about it. But it's like better for you. And then, yeah, but like whatever.
But like, who cares?
That's
Not
not
help.
convincing,
Anyway.
right? And then, like 3 weeks into it, I've had health problems my whole entire life with my stomach. Like
Yeah.
these issues with, I don't even want to get into it, but I've had issues
Details,
my whole
please.
life. I couldn't go to the bathroom to the point that I would get very sick.
Yeah.
We've all
had stomach issues.
Right.
You know?
Well, of course, because we're all eating
Yeah.
these diets that are insane. But anyway, so 3 weeks into it, that just all went away. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is something I need to look into continuing. And it was at that point that I watched Cowspiracy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then that was the nail in the coffin for me. And haven't looked back.
Yeah, you know, us vegans, we're always, farting all the time.
Yo, I gotta say though, like they were right. They were right about that.
Absolutely.
Chris especially. Like give that boy a Brussels sprout and I have to leave.
That means that your digestive system is working.
Yeah.
I
It
know.
means that you're functioning.
You're being
Congratulations.
human, isn't that great?
Yeah.
I just think about like the way that I was before and how many calzones I consumed.
What's the number one thing you miss?
Cheese.
Absolutely. That's everybody.
100% cheese.
Yeah, I was thinking about this recently. I think like a good pizza with like
Yeah.
good cheese.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
that's
like
exactly.
I love pizza and I don't mind of all veggie pizza,
Yeah.
but the gummy cheese is a
Yeah.
little too much for me.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm a personal like I'll miss the salmon, you know, the
Yeah.
lox, the Jew. We got
Yeah,
that.
I don't
Yeah.
have any of
The
just
cream
the cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the vegan alternative cream cheese, but when it has
That
all the other
tofuti?
fixins, I haven't actually tried
Oh,
that one.
Tofiti.
Tofiti.
Yo,
Tofiti.
tofu.
I love feet. Yeah, tofuti's good.
What do we do? I don't even remember.
I do
Oh,
that
like
a lot.
Kite Hill, which I'm always just like, where is the kite though? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what it's
Yeah.
called?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
It's almond based.
Have you guys heard of, like, do you know the thing about casein?
Yeah.
I see it and I know to avoid it.
Right? So
Avoid it.
basically casein is a protein that's found in dairy, like milk, cheese, whatever, and it's actually addictive to the human brain,
Yeah.
just like
Right.
nicotine. So that's why every single person, when they go vegan, oh, what do you miss? The cheese. And
Yeah.
it's a physical addiction.
Damn.
Isn't that
That's
gross?
why it's in Special K. We were just talking about my favorite cereal was Special K because it's plain.
There's casein in Special
Yeah.
K?
So
It's an addictive protein.
Yeah.
they don't even need it.
Shit.
They're just putting it in, being like, buy
my
our
God.
K.
Cowspiracy.
Sneaky.
Kellogg Spiracy. I'm gonna
Yeah.
write an
Shit.
entire book about Dragon Kellogg. I'm just kidding.
Like, I don't have, like,
Do
the
it. Make another
physical
random.
drive anymore that, like, I gotta have that cheese. But, like,
It
in my
was
mind...
there. It was
Yeah.
real.
It
Yeah.
was there.
But in my mind now, I'm just like, wow, I kind of miss that as, like, a nostalgia kind of thing.
Same.
But-
like all of my
like
old
an old
favorites
friend.
were cheese.
Totally same.
An
Same.
old friend.
No,
how
it
they're
is
doing.
not like an old friend to me at all. If someone has a real cheese pizza in front of me, it's actually like I'm like a drug addict.
Oh,
Like
really?
my
Yeah.
hands are like I'm like twitching.
She's
my
shaking.
eyes are going. Like I want it
She
so
looks
bad.
bad.
It's real.
I just think
That's
don't get that
upsetting
anymore.
on so many levels.
You don't understand the amount of cheese though. Like I was deep into it before.
Well, I just think about, like, what food we got when we first got here to Seattle. It was Dino Nuggets and string cheese. And, like,
Sweet Lord.
that entire...
we were broke.
We were broke, and, like, that is it now.
That was
Like,
my diet for a good month. You know?
I mean,
And I think about all of my childhood favorites like mac and cheese. And that's the one
Yep,
thing the
mac
vegans
and
haven't been
cheese.
able to crack yet.
it's cheese.
It's
yeah.
just the mac and cheese, you can dye it all you want, different colors, and that is totally fine, but it's never going to be that shitty craft that
Yeah.
I know and love.
yeah, that's true. I saw a pack of Annie's, Annie's white cheddar, and I was like, something happened. I didn't know that. I still felt this way. It's like seeing an ex, and you're like, those feelings, they're coming
They're
to the
all coming
surface.
back.
Oh, shit.
But I mean, it's not all giving up things. I feel like you're
Right.
you're getting.
That's
I
a
feel like
great
I've been
point.
more creative in the
Yeah,
kitchen
absolutely.
since going plant based.
Well,
Like,
people they like to
I've been more
focus on
creative in the
what
kitchen.
they're. I mean, it's true. You have to be.
Yeah.
But like, people like to focus on what they're giving up and not on what they're gaining.
Oh my god.
Really though, like it's
What you're
so
gaining
true.
is,
yeah.
like, your body not feeling like absolute
Yeah.
shit.
It's good for your body. It's good for the animals, and it's good for the planet.
Yeah.
What more do you want, people?
Everyone wants those things.
Exactly.
Not everyone.
Not my uncle.
And that's we should have like one of those bacon bobs on the show. Like the dude that you see on Twitter when you're like
Bacon Bob.
It's like when you post a recipe and you're like, look at this great vegetarian taco I made, and they're like, well, that would be great if you put a meat on her. Like,
I'm calling you out, Jerry. We know you.
No,
you
it's
are.
Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Bob.
that's the jerk Jerry. You know?
Yeah,
Beef jerky Jerry.
Beef jerky Jerry.
Jerry, there you go.
We call Trump supporters beef jerky. It just fits. It's just
that
a
makes
part
sense.
of the
I can
vibe.
see
Yeah, I
that.
feel
I can see
that
that.
resonates.
Yeah.
Did we mention that you guys are from Canada?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Is that the official call of the Canadian?
How are you? Sorry.
So let's talk about differences between the U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
Altitude, 1.
Yeah, you guys are lower.
I just recently found out, and by recently I mean like 2 hours ago, she's fresh, that you guys only have one highway.
Yeah. Well, okay, we've got
One road, everyone
we
knows each
have
other.
more than one highway, but like
It's
the
like
highway
interstate
is
the-
highway number
yeah.
1, and there's just one of them, and it goes
It
all the
goes
way
all the
across
way.
Canada,
No.
from west to east, east to west.
Have you ever done
Highway
that?
number
Like
1.
the
I've
whole
walked
highway?
I rollerbladed.
I've done the number 1 from like Winnipeg to the west coast, but I've never gone east.
Yeah, I've never crossed county.
There's another difference. We also don't have counties, so I don't know what she's talking
I don't know.
about.
I was like staring deep in your eyes and I got lost for a second. I was like, county?
Hi.
I love the simplicity of Canada. The metric system, the one highway is called number 1. Like,
This is the number 1 highway.
it's really easy to remember.
We've had the old
Only
Tim
13.
Hortons coffee, and she's great.
She's good.
I'm also really easy to please
Okay.
in the coffee
Right,
department.
yes.
I feel as though Tim Hortons is one of those things where it's like you either love it or you're like, no way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I love the idea of Tim Hortons.
because it's like, oh, it's a
It's
Canadian
like Tim
staple.
Hortons, yeah.
It's family grill.
What are they, like Tim Tams or something like that? Or is that
Tim
something?
That is Australia.
That's something different, okay.
Tim
down.
Times are Australian.
They
Tim
also
is
have the
just
metric
getting
system
around.
there.
Yeah, they're great. No, at
They're actually
Timbits.
bringing-
Tim
You're
Hortons.
thinking Timbits.
He was a
Timbits,
hockey player.
that's
They're like
it.
essentially donut holes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have those. They're called munchkins.
That's gross.
I know.
Yeah.
I like
Aw, I had
Timbits
the
better,
opposite
apparently.
reaction. I was like, oh, munchkin.
Like the cat, the munchkin cat,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I
Yeah,
thought
okay.
of.
We should have cat-shaped donuts. We're gonna come up with that.
Oh my
Don't steal it, okay?
That's our idea.
That's our coffee
Trademark,
shop.
patented.
Because we've already discussed that, like, when we're old as fuck and we're, like, isolated in the mountains, we're gonna have a little coffee shop that sells, like, vegan pastries.
Amazing.
Like
So
in
you can
Swiss
come.
Alps.
Yeah.
Well, just come up
I
to
was thinking, like,
Vancouver.
Pacific Northwest,
You
but,
will
like, I don't know.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
You
Whatever
will
you want to do.
thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing that I wanted to talk about today is, the whole YouTube landscape. That's a phrase that I love to
Quite
throw
the
out.
topic.
We
yeah.
had
It's a
an
trend.
episode called The YouTube Landscape.
We did?
Or it was in there somewhere.
We did that.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Ugh.
So you guys have been on YouTube. I know, Alayna, you've been on YouTube for, like, what, 6 years?
6 years. Yeah, I think like 6
Veteran.
years.
Wow.
6
Years,
years.
going
Yes.
strong.
And you got Haley, you were on since, like, what, 2013? you said?
Yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah. And so, how are you guys liking the whole online creator kind of entrepreneurial occupation? I was like, what other word could I throw out?
Professional.
Yeah, that was just such a sentence.
Suddenly
So
reading a
many
resume.
More adjectives, please.
Yeah.
It's good.
We keep looking to each other.
I'm like, you
do
go first.
No, you. Seriously.
Like,
That's
how
the
long have you
Canadian
guys
way.
known each other? Because I'm getting a vibe. Like,
Well, how long do you
long
think?
time.
How long
Okay,
do you
yeah,
think?
yes.
What's your
oh,
vibe?
damn it. Because it could be like, now it's going to be like 3 weeks, but you guys hit it off really well.
No, seriously, what's your vibe, though?
I'm going to say, like, a good, like, 3 years.
I'll go with like 6 months.
Okay.
I just
So-
Wow, you're like so close.
That's really close,
That's
actually.
really close.
It's been
It's been,
about
like, 3 weeks.
3 weeks a month.
3 weeks about?
A month.
Like about
See,
a month?
that's the vibe. You know, if there's like people that you click.
I got the vibe. It's definitely a 3-year vibe. Oh, you mean a month? Yes, that is the vibe.
That's the vibe.
How did you guys meet?
Someone tweeted at you.
Yeah, so I just recently moved to Vancouver from Winnipeg.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Vancouver's on the west coast. Winnipeg's like right in the middle of Canada.
I didn't know that.
quite
We
the
learned this earlier as well.
Yeah. Rachel goes, oh, that's the East Coast, right? And I'm like, no. And then I explained, like, she said, oh, I know someone from around Winnipeg. And I'm like, oh, like Brandon, Churchill, like where they live? Manitoba.
It's like, you're laughing, I still don't get the joke.
Okay, imagine that Manitoba is a state, and every place that I listed are cities within that state. So you said Manitoba. Anyway, yeah.
It's
Listen.
funny because
So
they
I-
don't know provinces.
Right, that's why I have to say state.
Yeah.
I'm just like translating it into American.
Thank
for you
God.
guys. Yeah.
You know?
So I moved to Vancouver pretty recently, and I had just tweeted out saying, hey, do you guys know of any Vancouver or like West Coast creators
Vancouverans.
Vancouverites.
Thank you
Oh.
very much.
Whoa.
Hey,
Hopped
we
on
matched.
that.
Seattleites, you know?
That's
Yeah,
probably why we're so
exactly.
close.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got the
good stuff.
lingo.
Exactly.
So you basically went on like a blind friend date.
Well, yeah, I pretty
essentially.
much like tweeted it out, and then a bunch of people tweeted me you.
Oh, really? How many? Come on.
Like 2.
Show me the analytics.
Like 2.
How many clicks?
But like, the 2 was the most.
Yeah.
They got it. Okay, great. So
Like, you were like the most.
Majority
Don't worry,
rules.
don't
Thank
worry.
you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Thank
You were like
you.
the most. Plus, another layer to this, I actually had a friend I told you this, a friend
Right.
back in Winnipeg
Right.
who had also said, you have to check out this Haley girl. So that's
I've heard
3.
she's great.
That's 3.
That's
Lightly
amazing.
rests hand on shoulder.
Thank you. That is 3. Thanks, you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So then, yeah, we met up with another creator.
And now you're
Just, like,
leaving.
went for- yeah,
And now I'm
exactly.
leaving you.
Just,
But I'll be back.
it's been fast.
They always come back.
Yeah. They always go back to Vancouver. I heard that's what they say.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
the vibe.
It is. It's these crystals everywhere. I'm getting a vibe all over the place right now. In case you were wondering, guys, we use crystals to keep our microphones from weighing down our tables, and it also provides a nice atmosphere.
I'm really
And that's what we
Not
need.
just for
Dual
aesthetics.
Depression has been cured.
truly. That's how it works.
So Haley, you're planning on going to LA soon, right?
Yeah.
You
In
excited?
About a week. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited to get away from it all, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, there's that Canadian accent. Oh,
Like, what words do you guys say that like you really think it shines?
Toque. Wait, what was
Yeah,
the question?
Like when
I thought I knew where you were going with that, and I got so excited.
I need to know
Next
what is
question.
the backstory of Toque.
No, I thought you were gonna ask what words are Canadian that Americans don't know.
Oh,
Toque.
What is that?
Oh, well,
See,
yeah.
exactly. No one knows what a toque
And
is.
you'll
and
never know.
To me, that's just like the
I
most
wanna be let
obvious
in.
word.
I need
It's
to
so
know.
common.
Does it mean you just took something, but you're saying it weird?
I just do shit that.
It's a noun.
Oh,
What's something that we really need up in Canada most of the time?
Not maple syrup.
a tube.
It's a winter hat. It's like a beanie.
It's a beanie.
Oh.
We call them
beanie.
a beanie. We call them toques.
So what happens when you take a beanie in the
you
past tense?
took the toque.
Have you had to say that often? Because
I've
honestly,
never
that'd be
thought about it. I've never thought about it.
Well, now you will every time you wear one.
Oh my god,
It's-
I'm here for Canadian linguistics. Tell me
I'm
more.
trying to, that's my go-to is
Yeah, that's
toque.
about it.
Or any words that you say that are very like
Ooh.
my Canadian is coming
Like, do you
through.
guys watch The
Gitch?
Sorry Girls or The Sorry Girls? They're both Canadians.
No.
No.
You should check out their channel. They're amazing.
Oh my god.
They're
Okay.
crafty.
Yeah.
Are they?
They make good DIYs.
Actually,
And-
okay, no, I totally have seen that.
Wow, you got the vibe?
Yeah, I got the vibe, exactly.
I love it.
Do you have any other words? I have another word.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, yeah, go for it.
Gitch? Do you guys know gitch?
What?
No.
You don't even know?
I
See, I think that might be like a
That's-
Steinbach thing.
Right.
Where
John
I'm
Steinbeck?
No,
Alayna was
Mice and
describing Steinbach
Oh, yeah.
to be very similar to Lancaster, PA. There's
Ah.
It's a
Mennonite
Mennonite-
Amish times.
Yeah, it's like a Mennonite settlement.
Yeah.
Steinbach.
I
Oh.
love it.
It's German, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Charmin.
And you were once a man.
Well,
That's a different story.
that's a
actually.
whole other. We're not talking about the sexuality thing yet.
Yeah.
No, I am Mennonite by blood,
Yeah.
just like a person can be Jewish by blood. I'm not Mennonite by practice. I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily grow up Mennonite by practice, and Mennonite is essentially Amish. Just
Yeah.
Just a little bit more like outgoing, I
a
would
bit
say.
more outgoing, yeah. They
Yeah.
still have the outfits, but they're like allowed to leave the land.
Like the community.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can go walk around.
That's what we experienced in college.
Yes.
Because they were at the mall, so I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were at FYE, you know?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have any experience wearing the bonnet though? Because I just need to know.
No, so like I would wear the bonnet. We have like a Mennonite Heritage Museum in Steinbach, and the museum that's in Steinbach is the Mennonite one. And so in the summers, we would go to the Mennonite Heritage Museum and we would like volunteer there and like work there. So then we dress up in the costumes and the bonnets and the flower print dresses.
I'm getting some Stars Hollow Museum vibes from this.
Oh yeah, that is a Gilmore Girls vibe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vibes happening.
So it was like a museum about your own town in town.
Yes.
That's
yes, very
Full
exactly.
circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Total meta.
But my favorite story about Steinbach, and this kind of sums up the town so perfectly. So we weren't allowed to have alcohol in the town until like probably 7-8 years ago.
I thought you were gonna like 7.
Like at all?
No, like, well, you could have alcohol, but you had to drive outside city limits to buy it. Like, you couldn't buy alcohol anywhere in town.
Okay.
You didn't have a liquor mart. You couldn't have alcohol in restaurants. Then about, I'm going to say like 7-8 years ago, they like had a whole vote. People protested for them to build a liquor mart.
Whoa.
Great. So they built a liquor mart. Then, a few years ago, there was another big vote about whether or not we were going to allow alcohol in the restaurants, like allow restaurants to serve alcohol within city limits. And again, people were picketing in the streets, save the family. This was like a huge uproar that we were going to allow alcohol into the town. Like
people didn't want it.
6-7 years ago. This is not like
So not a place to go bar hopping, I would say.
Sorry?
Not a place to go
there
bar
weren't
hopping.
bars. We had one bar, but it was outside of city
outside.
limits. Like, you had to go down the highway.
And you don't talk about
Outside of, no.
Down the one, okay.
Yeah, exactly, down the
Down
number one. But so they vote to have alcohol in restaurants now, right? And it's like this big thing. Oh my God, save the family. The people in power, like the government, goes into the law books to change the law so that liquor can now be allowed. And they find out there was never a law in the first place.
Oh my God.
This was a self-inflicted, like this was a self-imposed
a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That is
So
great.
that is Steinbach to me in a story.
I love
Nobody
it.
went back and checked?
No, it was just
They just accepted
so well because
It is
it's
law.
like right, and it's
And
like
it's
a
how it's
religion
written.
thing too, right?
Yeah.
So it's just people governing each other and saying, well, there's no alcohol allowed.
And that's
Wow.
just
And you're just gonna deal with it.
That's how religion works, you know? Someone said it somewhere, and then we all just were like, okay.
Piggyback on that idea.
Cool.
I mean, not me personally, but I get that there are people. Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. So, yeah.
Now that we got
no
Canadian
bars.
Discourse 101.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call this
question.
podcast.
Moving on.
Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about cows anymore.
Conspiracy.
Okay, yeah, I was like, we
The one takeaway, just watch that. It's on Netflix.
So I think at some point there we were going to talk about YouTube. Then I don't know what happened to the
We went
conversation.
somewhere.
It all just goes back to Canada at this point.
So I think somebody said that a lot of your videos were not showing up in the old restricted mode.
Let's be honest.
boy.
I am explicit. Like, I understand that the kids don't want to see this.
I don't know if it was like specifically like your buy content.
I know
or
that
anything
was
like
gone,
that. but-
Like, I know that the sex toy videos were gone, but like that one
that
I
makes
expect.
sense.
Yeah.
Like those are definitely like
understandable.
adult content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
You know, but yeah, the I'm sure like my coming out video is Gone Girl, you know,
Yeah.
like it's fine.
Did you
It's not.
guys
It's
get
not.
affected?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yes. 100%.
Where you
Yeah.
hit hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I don't, like, I talk about, not all my videos are LGBTQ,
Yeah.
right? But the ones that were gone.
Do you curse in your videos? I'm sorry.
No. Well, if
Okay.
I do, I bleep it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like one of the jokes on my channel is that it's a Fender. We are the Fender family, but that it's a family show. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's lots of,
And it's offenders. Civ.
right, it's like a Fender
Ha.
family show. But it's, when it's like a sexual innuendo.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There's like stuff like that, but it is like I call it a family show. But my series, I don't buy it. I understand that that's all gone, right? Because it's all like
It's all about sexuality.
sex, and like asking,
Yeah.
you know, maybe some inappropriate questions and stuff. I totally understand that that was gone. But some videos that were gone that really irked me were like, I had a video where I just talked about my queer YouTuber crushes.
Yeah.
And the video is literally me talking about other women on YouTube that I find like smart, attractive, and I like their content. That was the whole video.
That's harmless.
Completely harmless.
The kids can't see these compliments.
Actually, I'm really offended by that, so I'm glad. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm offended if I'm not on it.
Like, Haley was queer YouTuber crushes.
Alright, okay.
As in, like, queer creators.
I get it.
Unless you have something you want to, like, share.
Let's move on.
This would be the place to do it. Yeah.
That was gone.
There were some people that were, like, literally just, like, there were a couple of trans people that literally just, like, them doing makeup.
Yeah, well, that was Steph.
Having nothing to do.
Steph Sanjeet. I don't know how to say her last name.
But
Steph San, she's another Canadian creator. She's from Toronto. And it was exactly like her makeup videos.
What?
It's and like some people were saying that it was
say like makeup for a trans woman.
Yeah.
So clearly having trans
yeah.
or like me, I said my lesbian YouTuber crushes.
Yeah.
Or I had another video that was literally called A Conversation on Queer Dating. And it was just me and a couple other friends in the LGBTQ community talking about dating in the LGBTQ community.
And it's like,
gone.
I don't think, one, it's like, this is the stuff that I wish I had when I was growing up. I think we can all agree that, like,
100%.
that would have been amazing. But it's also just so frustrating because it's just, like, where else are we supposed to talk about these things?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have, like, I love seeing videos on YouTube about queer sex.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I get that could be explicit, you know,
Totally.
any kind of sex ed video, you know. I get it because, you know, the sex ed, I don't know how it is in Canada, but it's pretty fucked here, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
not good.
I wouldn't say it's great in Canada.
Not ideal.
No.
Not ideal, but it's just like, it's so frustrating to see like these educational videos be taken down because these are resources that like aren't being offered in school. And like, if we're learning about how straight sex works, we should absolutely be like, people aren't going to be using protection because they just don't know. They just literally don't know. So it's been, you know, it's been interesting. I hope that they fix it. I know that they addressed it twice now.
Yeah.
Addressed it, but
the first one was kind of like a PR move.
Yeah, the first one was not
They
good.
got
Like
dragged.
but
they always do because they don't tell anyone
what's going
like
on.
I know I'm not
behind the
currently
scenes.
making videos, but I know that my videos are still out there for people to watch, and I don't want, you know, my coming out story. You know, I feel like those are videos that how many coming out videos did you watch before you came
every
out?
single one.
Yeah.
I saw every single one on website.
There's got to be
On
someone that
YouTube.
made a playlist
on the website.
On
the
www.
website.
Yeah,
I saw every single
YouTube
one.
is the website for the coming out genre, I would say.
Absolutely. Like, I didn't even know what bisexuality was until I found Lacey Green's videos.
Yes.
I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
18.
It felt so
and
right when you saw
I
it.
had never even heard... It did. I had never even heard of bisexuality. I didn't know you could be...
I had heard of it, but it was kind of in a not nice way. And that is entering the biphobic category of life.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm just excited to see Instagram now said that they're going to do like a blurring on photos that are deemed as not safe for work. So I'm excited to
What's
see how
that
that
gonna
fucks
be?
up. Real bad.
I think, though, I should note that since this whole YouTube restriction thing, my network, I'm with Much.
Okay.
Which is like MTV, but Canadian.
Yes.
And they reached out to me and let me know that they have been talking with YouTube and saying that, like, they, as a company, Bell Media, Much, is completely, like, appalled
Good.
at all these restrictions and everything. And they said that their contact at YouTube is, like, if you send any videos their way and say these should not be restricted, like, they're just LGBTQ content, they will fix it. So, like, there's a part of me that's like, okay, at least there's no malintent there. You know, they didn't do this intentionally, I hope.
I get
But
that
there
it
should
was...
have been like a more rigorous testing process before
100%.
this.
Well,
I
that's
just like
YouTube. They throw out a new feature, and they just are like, let's
You
see
are
how
the
this
beta
goes.
test.
totally, yeah.
The people who earn their livelihoods are the guinea pigs, and there's no
There's no safety net for us.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even get healthcare. There really is no safety net.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because, I mean, I'm just surprised you even said the word contact at YouTube. Like, that's a myth to me.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the thing, like, because when Much called me and they said that, it was like, what? You have a what? You saw
talk to
There's people there, it's not just robots.
Because it's usually, for me, I just picture YouTube, like, headquarters, and it's just, like, an infinite circle of FAQ pages until you go to hell. And that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Me trying to cancel my
we
YouTube
told that
Red
story
subscription.
on here. Canceling YouTube Red is like the worst experience of
I
my
had to
life.
watch a YouTube tutorial to see how to cancel it because they make it that difficult. I get it. They just want your money, too.
Yeah.
But, like,
But that's still, not communicating well.
yeah, I'm just, you know, when is iTunes going to be like, all right, this podcast, take it off the air because we're talking about sexuality too much. And like, I know that they were doing the same thing. I don't know how it's been with you with the advertising, because like they're restricting advertising with people.
I got hit with that too. And you know what video got hit? My video where I talk about the shooting in Orlando.
Oh, right, because it's like political stuff.
In no way was I talking about anything graphic. In no way. All I was talking about was how in Steinbach, where I'm from, there was this kid who was being bullied, and because he had 2 moms. And his moms had gone to the school board and said, hey, this is not okay. And they basically refused to help to the point where they had to pull him out of school and move.
My God. Damn.
And so this was happening at the same time that the Orlando shooting took place. So I made a video talking about that. And it was deemed not advertiser friendly. They took the monetization off of it. I had them review it. And they came back and said, nope, it's not advertiser friendly. Like, they
just
reviewed
like
that video.
Anything that's like Orlando shooting type
But here's my
content,
question,
like,
because I get
that's
that
still fucked up.
people respond and say, yeah, well, you know, advertisers don't want to make money off of a tragedy. They don't want their product associated with tragedy. There's commercials during the news.
Yeah. And
What's
during
the difference?
I mean, every freaking company on Twitter changed their icon to reflect that, and you know that that's not exactly, like, I mean, it's nice, but it's also a PR move for business.
Truly. Yeah.
They know that they're going to get more business from people that are, you know,
see that as like, I respect you as a company kind of thing.
Yeah. It's obviously a business move, like, on some degree.
Yeah.
I don't think businesses have that much of a problem, like, profiting in that way.
Have we talked to businesses? Let me put them on the phone.
Yeah.
Let's call up the businesses right now.
My thing is, like, you know that there's that entire community of people that literally just rip anyone to shreds that's making videos about sexuality, gender, all of those topics. And how are they allowed to continue? And I don't know, they still have ads rolling on their videos.
Absolutely.
It makes no sense.
They're not in restricted mode, and they are the most hateful, negative channels.
Insidious.
And it's not even in a, you know, constructive way at all.
No.
Or like a conversational way. It's just anger and bullying.
Gross.
Yeah.
I just think about their fine lines. You know, they're going to have so many.
I thought you meant like contractually. And then I'm like,
small print.
No, yeah. No, she means
I really mean age spots.
Yeah.
That anger's gonna age you.
Like, if anything, like, goddamn, how many ulcers can one community have? Like,
enough that they're trying to pass them off to everyone else.
Yeah, and they're succeeding at some points, because it's stressful when I like watch a video from one of my favorite creators, and then I see it in the recommended because they have the same tags. I hate it. It's upsetting. I don't know how that shit can go on, and how there can be all these communities of like white supremacists all over YouTube and Twitter and stuff, but then, you know, you get like just anybody trying to talk about these topics in like an educational way, and they're the ones getting impacted negatively. So, you know, it's frustrating.
We don't like education in these parts.
Well, duh. I mean, this is America. Put down your fucking books and pick up that slab of bacon. That's the motto of this country.
That's what Bob says.
What a fun conversation.
That's the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, it's the fine print. It's next to under God and under bacon. So that's what it is.
Wow.
I think
I'm
it's just so
they
ironic.
let us in.
I know, that's true.
And they only asked us about how much money we make a few times.
They should have asked how many lentils did you consume in the last week.
Really?
Wait, really? Did they ask you that?
Yeah. Whenever I cross the border to like visit YouTube friends, they ask me about like, you know, who are you going to see? Why are you going there? And I say, oh, they're friends from YouTube, whatever. We met at conventions. And they say, oh, what do you do for a living? I make YouTube videos. And then they go on about, oh, how do you make money? How much money do you make? Well, all this stuff, and I'm like, you're not asking me this for the good of your country.
No, because that is like the number one most common question when you're talking to someone that doesn't make online content. They're like, well, how the fuck do you do that? I've had Uber drivers literally ask me what my yearly income is.
That's like saying you're a vegan, and then they were like, how do you get protein?
Oh my god.
Have you not died yet? Yeah, it's a mess overall, but I would say making online content is still... It's important, and it's a job that didn't exist, you know, for a very long time, obviously. The internet is new.
If we're circling back around to, like, whether or not we enjoy it, it's the best job in the world. Like, I know we're saying, like, there's all this stuff going on right now, but, like, I adore
And it's
YouTube.
important that we keep powering through it, you know?
Absolutely,
Yeah, Yeah, we gotta vent our frustrations and then, be like, okay, got that out. Now let's go ahead and do some more content.
Progress.
Yeah.
Exactly, because the more voices that are out there, the louder we are.
Because, like, the
change.
first wave of hearing about the LGBT restriction stuff, it was, like, just a few people, and then it just spun out. And I was so glad to see such a big uproar, because it's something that should be taken very seriously, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then it finally, like, it only took them, like, 48 hours or whatever, but they did finally pull out a statement, It might not have been the greatest, but it was an actual direct, like, comment on things creators were buzzing about, which never happens, But how do you, this is so random, because, like, I know this doesn't affect me because I'm not making YouTube videos, but how do you feel about annotations getting the old axe?
I just saw that recently.
Yeah. I just love these changes, I'm just here.
I saw it literally yesterday, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I have to feel that's because of YouTube TV. Because, like, the TV service coming out with it, and they don't want you to be, like, watching TV, and all of a sudden there's a video playing with, like, a million annotations on it or whatever. Yeah.
The thing that I saw, like, it might have impact creators, but I think the most impact it will have is on that one Twitter for YouTube annotations that just, like, takes screenshots of, like, really fucked up ones, and they just tweeted, like, a sad face that day.
Oh my god, what?
If they get rid of thumbnails, then the YouTube thumbnails Twitter is going to be gone. That's, like, my favorite Twitter. They're not going to get rid of thumbnails. How will people click?
How will you clickbait them?
Yeah, because clickbait will get so much worse.
Like, how do you feel about clickbait? Because, like, at the end of the day, the bitch gotta pay rent. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care about clickbait.
I'm not that. I mean, I'm not that. I don't care. I really don't. The only thing I care about is when it's like, I died, and then the video is like, have you died? No!
Yeah, that's true. That is a bit.
That's a different topic.
I watched one that was like, why I don't shave. Or no, it was why I don't shower. And then I clicked the video, and literally right at the beginning, she was like, I do shower.
But it's so fucked up, because, like, I know I'm getting tricked, and I still click.
I know, you're like, there's no way, but I gotta find out.
That should be the clickbait catchphrase. I know I'm getting tricked, but I still clicked. That's so good.
There was one, and, like, I saw, it came up on my recommended page, and it was, like, how I got clear skin, and it was, like, a photo of someone, and they had, like, they clearly photoshopped tons of, like, issues all over their face.
Oh, really?
And then, like, a makeup or, like, a, clear skin photo afterwards. And then you click the video and their skin never looked like that. And all the comments were like, what the fuck? It was, like, the most extreme I've ever seen. But, like, it had, like, so many views. And I was like, see? That person is gonna have a lot of fun at Trader Joe's this week.
Like, it honestly doesn't, it doesn't bother me.
I know. You gotta make your livelihood somehow. And, like, I think about how other businesses do it, too. Like, in not online spaces, but, like, there are billboards. Like, there's always going to be a way of, like, overzealously advertising your shit so that you can make
like eggs, not to bring up that plant blade, but I think eggs are clickbait.
That should be something
They're real life clickbait. Like,
oh, actually, ew. Yeah, when you think about it.
That is true, or calcium. All of these milk commercials, they're like, hey, if you drink this milk, you're actually going to be strong and an
your
Olympic
bones
athlete.
are going to be like titanium.
It's
insane.
And it turns out, it's actually the opposite of that.
You just get
That one fucked me.
Osteoporosis.
And that's why we have
Knocking
her.
at your door. Exactly.
All right, coming in hot with some hot, fresh Q&A going on.
Hot with hot.
All right, so the first question here is from our Twitter using #CoffeeWithChrachel if you ever want to get involved on the conversation. That was some nice promo there.
Is that scripted?
No,
so it could have been.
This entire show is actually scripted, even the laughs.
We actually have a laugh track.
Laughter.
My cackle is not genuine. So the first question here is, since you become vegan, have you stuck to the vegan makeup / skincare cruelty-free ? And that is something that Chris and I have been working towards, because, like, the first thing we focused on was the food, because I realized my bowels were dying. And so we focused more on that, and, like, I mean, I haven't bought, like, anything leather, because I just don't care, and I also don't have the money for that shit. Like, it's expensive to kill animals. Like, why do it? But yeah, the makeup and products thing is, like, the next wave that we're trying to get into. But I know you guys are more experts on the situation. At least you try, and you have been doing it for longer than us.
Exactly. I was going to say, we're also further into it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you know more about, like,
which
the
brands.
products and stuff, whereas, like, for makeup, I don't usually wear makeup anyway. And if I do, I know, like, a cheap cruelty-free vegan mascara.
Yeah.
Like,
What's your favorite cheap cruelty-free makeup brand then? Or any brand?
Essence, Wet
yeah,
and Wild.
that's good. And,
Essence and Wet and Wild.
Okay.
I'm pretty. The mascara I have is Gosh,
Oh,
I've heard of her.
and it's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
What lipstick are you wearing right now?
Yeah,
It's
you're
beautiful,
killing
girl.
I can't
that
recall
lipstick.
actually.
Oh,
It's like a crayon. I
it's,
saw you take it out of your bag and I zoned in on it. It's some kind of
I'll
crayon.
have to check later.
I feel you.
I didn't
It's
see the
okay.
brand. But.
I think that going like the move like from just not eating meat and dairy and all those kind of things to like going the next step of like changing other aspects of your life.
Yeah.
It's a
can't-
process.
It's a process more than just like it's over now. Except when you decided in the span of 2 hours to not
do
eat meat
it.
anymore.
Yeah. Like for us,
That's
it was
crazy.
like
No one does that.
when we first moved here, we stopped really having meat. Like
Because
after
we just
were
couldn't
broke.
afford meat.
Yeah, so that
And
was the
that's
first
like the
step.
first step. I feel like that's like
The first natural evolution.
but like from my friends who aren't vegan for like maybe environmental or like compassion, I don't know, whatever, ethicals. It's because the ethicals.
The
ethicals.
and the ethicals.
We're moving on. It's because like a lot of them can't afford it, and so they just
Yeah.
eat vegan at home,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
and, like
exactly.
more power to you. Like,
Also,
do
it's
it.
really easy to clean up after because I don't have to worry about like chicken juice.
Also, you don't have to worry about if it's cooked through all the way.
True.
It's great.
We got
You
perks.
can't
That's hard.
undercook things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I see, especially because, like, when you're online and you're, like, documenting these kinds of things, like, I don't even really call myself a vegan because I know that I, still have those slippers tucked away in the closet that I had before this and all of these things. It's like, I just feel like there is a pressure for everyone to be, like, 1,000% perfect from the
Yeah.
get-go, and that can be stressful, and I think
Of
that
course.
puts people off.
Yeah.
It's
So you
dependent
gotta make
on,
small
like,
changes
where
until you're
you
there.
are
Baby steps.
living, first of all, and also
True.
like, where you are personally in your mental space. That's another
Totally.
thing too.
Because a lot of people have, an interesting relationship with food, and they might not be ready to, like, do all these different things, or a big change in your diet could, upset you in some way. So you have to do whatever you want to do at the pace that you want to do it, but just know that any change you're making is a positive one.
Absolutely.
But with the cruelty-free stuff, like the makeup, it's just so frustrating right now because there are so many brands, which is amazing. And I feel like that's going to become, I know we talked about this earlier, I feel like it's going to become like the industry standard.
I hope so.
I would hope by like 2020, all of the brands.
We could see clearly 2020 that this is wrong.
Yeah.
That we should change.
The problem is China. Not to drag you, but you gotta stop.
Those animal testing laws. Come on.
And that's something that I feel like, because sometimes we have the individual consumer. Obviously, everything you're buying is like a vote towards something, so that is important.
That's my stance on it, right? Because we can also get into parent companies a little bit, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So, like, something that is confusing for a lot of people who are starting out cruelty-free is if a company itself is cruelty-free, for example, Urban Decay,
Yes.
but they are owned by a parent company, L'Oreal, correct?
Either L'Oreal or Estee Lauder.
Okay,
They're both
I think
big
it's
boys.
L'Oreal.
Okay.
I could be wrong. So, Urban Decay itself is a cruelty-free company, and its parent company is not. So, there's two sides to this, right? Some people, myself included, would say that your dollar is a vote, and so by buying the cruelty-free products, you are using your dollar to vote for the cruelty-free brand.
Yeah.
But other people would argue, and they're also totally right,
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, the parent company, the non-cruelty-free company, is still benefiting off your dime.
Yeah.
Right? So it can go one of two ways.
And it's
I would
like
see-
every day one of my favorite brands is getting bought by like
Yeah.
Estee Lauder, and it's just so frustrating to see. And then some of them still remain cruelty free,
Well,
but then
that's just like NYX.
Yeah.
NYX also was just bought by some big company that's not cruelty-free. But to me, the fact that the company itself, like we can use NYX, they are standing strong and staying true to their cruelty-free roots and saying, well, no, I'm not going to start testing on animals just because the parent company does or because the parent company wants to. To me, that means something.
I see that
Yeah.
as like the parent company is like, okay, I'm going to get this one company here that is cruelty free, and I got these other ones over here that aren't.
And you have options, I guess.
Well, like when the business reports come in and all the money and revenue and stuff, they'll be like, okay, if more people are buying over here in this sector, that's the vegan cruelty free kind. Maybe we'll start moving the other ones towards that.
That's my
That's
hope,
the
right?
Yeah.
mentality there, and like so.
And I also think we need to, I love, like, okay, so Mac, for example. Mac
it's a tough one.
chose to sell to China like within the last few years, and everyone was super upset about it because it feels like selling out. You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
well, it literally is.
It is.
It's not even feels like it literally is.
That's the vibe.
The vibe of selling out. And when you go to their Instagram, it's literally just all of the comments are always just like, why do you still test on animals? And they just link you the same article. It's like, we're doing the best we can. We're trying to work with the Chinese government to stop this. And it's like, okay, I get it. And I absolutely think that the problem is with that bigger picture. But at the same time, like, you could take a stand. And they are a huge company, but they also are dying tragically because they didn't want to get on the online stuff. And then, like, for me as a person that does get PR, like, I get a lot of products that are not cruelty free. And, like, I, sometimes I'll be swatching them and I find new things that I like and I do talk about them on Snapchat. But, like, for what I'm personally trying to do, like, where I'm spending my money, like, every single time now, like, I'm really, like, I know I still, like, have, like, some things that I've been using or have bought recently that weren't. And, like, there are many websites that you can actually look at. Maybe we can, like, tweet some links to the websites where you can see.
Cruelty-Free Bunny. I think the one's called Cruelty-Free Bunny.
Yeah. There's another one with, like, elephant in the title.
Okay.
Something like that. But basically what I'm trying to do on, like, my personal scale is, like, scale back on the products that I use on my day-to-day and, like, use up the things that I already have and then be replacing them until, like, she's good, But
it's tricky with PR because you don't have control over what gets sent to you.
I know. And it's like, I'm not upset when I get to try new things, but at the same time, like, am I a bad person because I'm showing off a lipstick from a brand that, is selling to China now?
You know
like,
what I would say is I would suggest, if you're looking for suggestions here.
Yeah, give me the advice.
Like, what I would do is if I was going to show, because, like, I know I still have some products that I bought before I went cruelty-free, and same thing, I'm using them up instead of just throwing them away. If I do ever show them in a video, I always give a cruelty-free alternative. Yeah. So I say, I still have this MAC paint pot, not Painterly, it's MAC something paint pot that I've had for friggin' ever, because those things never run out.
Yeah, they take like a decade.
Or like I have a MAC eyeliner, same thing. And whenever I use those, I say, oh, well, there's a NYX CHRachel eyeliner in the color coffee. That's like the exact same and it's cruelty free. That's what I'm going to buy as soon as this runs out.
Yeah.
So that way you're not wasting the product. You're still using it, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't do anybody any good if you just throw away something you already have.
But at the same time, if someone is looking for a cruelty free alternative, they're not going to go, oh, I really like that eyeliner, and that MAC one is the only one.
And it's never true, though.
One. Like, totally. Yeah, there's always a cruelty-free.
There's very few makeup products that haven't been duped by another one. Even formulation. Like, the only one I can think of is, like, no one's really done a lot of what ColourPop is doing, but they're also cruelty-free. So, you're good.
Yeah.
Because, actually, Lancome tried to do what ColourPop did, but they did it shitty, and I'm pretty sure Lancome is not cruelty-free.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So don't even go there, I could be wrong, though. Lancome. I'm not, like, a Bible of cruelty-free yet. I haven't, like, done all of my research. I'm like in the very beginner stages of this. But it's always nice, like, if any of you guys listening to this have any options, like, if you know of products that you've heard me talk about that I love that aren't cruelty free and you have an alternative that you know of, like, totally let us know. Like, we're not going to be, like, upset about it. I don't feel like I'm getting bullied into anything, you know what I mean? I want to be there. It's just, like, I think it's a slow process to like go full-fledged veg. And like there is, like, I feel like there is sometimes like almost like a stigma now on YouTube when you like are talking about these things to be like 1000% already there. And I think like any kind of positive change is good. Like even if it's just one fucking lipstick that you changed out, like that's a good thing that you're doing.
Even if like nothing about your day or your daily life changes except one day a week you decide to not eat meat or dairy. That's still a step in the right direction.
It's still something.
Yeah, because there's like all of those statistics that it's just like 1 pound of beef is like this much water and all of these different things. And
she raised her hand really high up into the air.
It was really tiny amounts, But I just think that, if this is something that you're looking into, there's lots of information online. There's lots of YouTube channels now that are really catering towards that. And I think after it's becoming almost like it is a problem, and a lot of people are almost, it's like a faux pas if you're not already on that cruelty-free trend as a brand. And I feel in the near future, it'll be a thing where it's like unheard of to be doing that. And it's not just going to be like Lush being the only brand, because I feel like that
there's
was how it
so
started.
many brands out there. There are so many.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, you've got Gosh. I like at the drugstore. There's Essence. There's Wet n Wild.
Glossier is also
Glossier.
a lot of the
Glossier's
newer
great.
brands.
Oh yeah. There's one that I don't use. But it's like, it's also at the drugstore. This is not helpful. Well, I think Flower Cosmetics. But there's one more that's like old. They've been around forever. Whatever. There's another drugstore.
Either way,
drugstore
like,
one.
Yeah.
And
a
then,
lot of the indie brands are too.
Yeah.
Because like of
pretty
course,
much
how are they going to be
all,
testing?
Like, all the online stuff, like Makeup Geek, ColourPop, Ofra. Those are all cruelty free. At Sephora, some of my favorite brands: Becca, Urban Decay, Too Faced,
Stila just
Tarte,
changed.
Stila, like
Damn.
Laura Mercier.
You
Like
hearing that?
there's Smashbox. There's so many cruelty free options. It's really not difficult to start making that change.
Yeah. So hopefully, you guys, get some inspiration from this little segment.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here?
We have
Email?
an email question. I haven't done one of these in a while.
Whoa.
Which you guys can email us at CoffeeWithChrachel@gmail.com.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, hey
In
guys.
fact, you're right.
Hey guys, so my whole childhood I grew up in a religious cult and now I am an atheist.
All right.
If you-
Sounds like me.
If you leave the cult, everyone inside of it has to shun you, and even if they're your closest family. I have family in another state, and that means the world to me, and I feel like I should come out to them as an atheist. It would be easy for them to never know, because they wouldn't know if I didn't go to church since they don't see me often. But is it better to just be true to myself, or should I just keep quiet so I don't lose relationships with them? I can't even celebrate holidays or birthdays or show my tattoos on social media because they will see it and immediately shun me because they don't allow those things at all.
Right.
I know Rachel specifically had experience with this, and I was wondering what you guys thought on what I should do.
The first thing that I thought of is like a lot of people. This is not religion, but it was my sexuality, and
Yeah,
it was
that's a kind of correlation there.
because like there were like we have Orthodox Jews in my family, and they were actually super accepting of my sexuality, which was awesome. But like I think about a lot of people asked me like, well, why did you come out to your family knowing that they were homophobic when you could have probably kept that on the DL because you're dating Chris, whatever, and like.
I can mirror that so hard.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. I mean, that obviously applies to religion too. It depends on, like, it's not like I'm saying like I hold my values harder than other people that wouldn't, because it's a totally different situation.
It's a situation of like safety.
Yeah.
Like, first of all,
like I didn't feel safe I didn't do it until I was 3,000 miles, not just 3 miles.
Yeah.
3,000 miles away.
But for me, it felt like I just needed to, even if it wasn't something that was going to like dramatically impact them like on a day to day, like I wasn't going to be like, I'm out. And also I broke up with Chris, I've been dating for like 4 years at the time. And now I'm dating a woman. This is a lot of change. I just felt like I couldn't, hide it, even if I was telling all of my friends and everything. And it wasn't necessarily like a pressing issue for them, but I just felt like I didn't want to be at all altering my existence for different groups of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just like a personal thing, so that way you didn't have to think about how you express yourself.
Yeah,
depending
and
on who you're talking to. You had come out to like pretty much everybody else. Well, you were planning on coming out in a video.
Yeah, that was the thing I wanted to tell them before I like made videos about it. And like your online presence is like, often very personal to like what your real experience is. I mean, hopefully, unless your whole online life is a sham, because those definitely exist. But
Never heard of it.
It really depends on it does depend on the situation, but like I don't knock you if it takes a while or if you don't do it at all. You know what I mean?
It's
because
such a personal thing.
So,
That's so case by case basis. That's a question that I know this isn't the answer that you want, but that's something you can only ask yourself. And I think when people ask those questions, they already know the answer deep down. They know what they want to do. They just want someone else to give them permission.
Yeah.
So here is us giving you permission to do whatever it is that you want. If you really want, what it sounds like to me is that you really want to be true to yourself, and you just don't want.
Yeah, you're sounding like you're holding back from posting things or celebrating different things or whatever.
and like you can't choose your family. That's out of your control. Their reactions are out of your control, but you're also not responsible for their happiness.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And you don't have to have all of the same characteristics of them too. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like everyone's going to be different, and like there might even be people in that side of your family that are also feeling the same way as you, and you don't even know it. But
I
it's
know
something...
I received messages after I came out, because I'm also from a small religious town. I received messages from people I never would have thought, saying that they're also closeted, or they also are going through these same things. And that
sometimes it just takes one person to be like out there, and then other people are like, "Hey, me too." Like
for me, I just wanted I don't know. I just was at the point where, I mean, I had moved away from like the unsafe environment, so it was a different situation. But I mean, there are probably still family members of mine that don't know, and it's not like I was never close with them, so I wouldn't have felt, but it's just it's such a weird thing to have to do. But at the same time, I wouldn't knock you if if it takes a really long time for you to even feel comfortable doing that. You know what I mean? Because it's understandable that it's a complex situation, and you at the end of the day, even if you know that your family might not take it well, you still love them and you still want them to accept you. And if that means right now, you're not telling them about your religious pursuits, then or lack thereof, then I understand that. The tattoo thing rings home because that's something in the Jewish home, you don't do. Clearly. But that's something that I plan on doing. I haven't done it yet because money. Those are expensive little guys, But, it's just at the end of the day, you're going to be living with yourself your whole life. And you just kind of have to just be true to yourself and do what you want to do. And, you might hurt some people because, you're going to make different choices than other people, and everyone's so different.
As long as you're not fuck your religion, I'm atheist. Be warm and inviting, be I'd be more than happy to explain my side
my
or
reasoning.
Something. We can have a conversation about this. There's only so much that you can do from your side of it. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, so, they have to be open to hearing you out as well.
Yeah. So, if you decide to go that route, you can just be there with open arms, and that's the best route that you can do.
And they might not come into your open arms right away.
Yeah, sometimes it's not instantaneous.
A month, it might take a year, it might take 5 years.
How was it, I know this is not religion, but how was it, oh my god, I just hit the microphone. How was it for you when you came out to your family members?
So, my family actually took it really well.
That's good.
So, yeah, I don't know if that necessarily applies, because from the sound of the email, they know how their family's going to react.
Yeah. That was kind of my situation. I knew what I was walking into.
Right.
Yeah. And it's it's obviously daunting to have to do that when you know what's going to be the outcome, but you could be surprised. I was surprised with my aunt and uncle, who are the Orthodox Jews. I was not expecting them to be okay with it. And they were actually really amazing about it. So, I mean, you might be surprised. Maybe they'll be okay with it, or maybe they'll be, like I said, feeling the same ways. You never know. But, good luck with everything.
Yeah, best of luck.
And you're not wrong for feeling the way that you do about religion.
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
That's everybody, religion is so personal, and it can mean so many things to different people. And you don't have to have one. You can have one. It's we're all on this road, and we can all cope the way we want to, know? The next question here is, how do you deal with rejection? Super stressed and anxious about uni applications right now.
Rejection?
I don't know what I was...
Rejection.
So, it's not fun, I would say, but how do you deal with, doing something even job applications and stuff like that? How do you feel, or how do you cope with, being rejected in general when you're trying to pursue something that you really want?
Well, I'll say from the job perspective that is fucking terrible, because it's wow, okay, I put in
Bleak, okay.
I put all this work in, and then I went to school, I did all these things, I thought I was on the right path, and then it's I get this no, we're exploring other opportunities at this moment. That's the catchphrase. But
I've heard her before.
I just think in my mind that there are so many places that I could be working at or whatever, and so I know that there's going to be somewhere else that will take me in, that will realize my potential.
I wish I was like that. I wish I was one of those people that was motivated by rejection. You knock me down, I'm back up, bitch. I'm not. I'm down.
You're gonna miss this fucking great worker right here. You just missed out on a good opportunity.
As the old prophet Chubbawamba said, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never
That's actually my
religion.
I did decide just now.
Are you gonna come out to your family?
What? As Chubbawamba?
Yeah, as a Chubbawamba. Like, we could have
I mean, honestly, they might take that harder, you know? That's a rough life.
Oof.
Like, Rachel, goddammit.
Like, how are you going to survive doing that? Yeah, because, like, I mean, for me, like, I'm thinking about college, and when I applied to schools, like, I was rejected from a few, and there was also one that I was waitlisted for, and then I don't know if I actually did get in or not, but I remember being, like, upset because by the time I was still on the wait list by the time I had to sign up for, like, something concrete. And so I did have to give up that school that I really wanted to go to. And, like, it ended up turning out great, and I met the love of my life there, so that was pretty lit. But, like,
Yeah,
I don't know. He's gone. He's been long gone, you know?
That's nice.
Squeezy.
I mean, the way that you have to look at it is, like, you're gonna be rejected all the fucking time. I mean, life is honestly one big rejection, and we're just all getting fucked.
Yeah. I got waitlisted on Raya recently.
Oh, yeah?
Took that pretty hard.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, honestly.
Honestly, when your body rejects dairy.
That's the worst rejection of all.
Oh, no.
Do you have to deal with that at all, like, in the music industry?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm not in it enough. Like, I'm still, like, very much just in my own little world regarding it. Like, I'm just, like, writing for myself. I'm recording for myself. Like, you know, I'm not signed. Very independent. But, like, yeah, I'm trying to every day mentally prepare myself for the extreme rejection that comes with, like, the music industry.
So how are you doing that?
Damn.
Like, how? Because she asked, how do you deal with rejection? So, like, how
do you
are you
prepare?
preparing yourself?
You know, I tell myself I'm great.
And that someone will see
Little
that.
mantras.
Just look in the mirror.
That's
Positive
not,
affirmation.
honestly, though, that's, like, good advice, though, because, like,
Yeah.
so often we're always told that, like, you know, thinking good of ourselves,
It's
like,
bad.
it's bad that,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
you
we
got
can't be confident in ourselves, that we always have to be modest and whatever.
No,
But, like,
you're
you
the
have-
one that is looking out for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta look out for you. You
Yeah.
gotta have your own back. And I mean, like, I don't
You're
know.
your own
Yeah.
biggest fan.
Yeah.
All
And
the cliches.
biggest
Yeah.
critic. But
The only rejection that really hurts me is the one that I get from Squeezy. And, like,
Yeah.
it's horrible, but, you know, I get by because sometimes he will approve of me, and those are the moments where I'm sobbing
That
deeply.
little validation
Yes.
that we all
Squeezy, we
need.
saved your life. We just want you to love
He
us.
doesn't know what we did for him, but at the same
One
time
day
he
he will.
does.
One day.
All right, so we're going to end on this last question here. It's a little light, and this says, does Haley smell like maple syrup since she drinks it daily? Also, do you guys listen to podcasts? I've heard multiple podcasters say they don't even listen to any, even though they make them. What the fuck? Podcasts are life. So do you guys have any pod recommendations? And also, what is the
Odor
the
over
maple odor?
Oh, I think it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty radiating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like coming
I drink
through
a bottle
her
a day.
pores,
It's
for
been
sure.
a couple hours. It's been about like, oh my god, I've gone a day without taking a little
Any
sip.
maple syrup.
Little,
Are you
little
crashing?
sip.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Wow.
She's crashing hard.
Like, honestly,
Twitches.
how often do you guys even have fucking maple syrup? I probably have it
Not
more
that
often.
Not that often.
Well, okay, to be fair, I'm not the right person to ask because I don't like sugar.
Okay.
So, like, I don't
Okay, bye.
ever have maple syrup. Like,
Are you allowed to be a Canadian if you don't
it's
like
I
maple
don't
syrup?
think so.
It's tough.
This is news to me.
yeah.
Have you
Gotta
been
call my
rejected
boss.
by Canada? And
My
how do you deal
government
with
guy.
They're not gonna
Get
let
on
me
the
back
phone.
in.
Is that the question they ask you when you go back
Yeah,
to the
They're
country?
like, let me smell your breath. Okay, go through.
Yeah. No, but my family has maple syrup all the time.
It's
Whenever
so
we
good.
have pancakes or like
Mm.
crepes or anything, it's
So
maple
good.
syrup. Yeah.
And do you guys listen to any podcasts?
Oh yeah, I love
yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah. I don't have a podcast, but I love podcasts.
What's your favorite one?
Friday Night In.
Oh,
Ah.
uploaded on Friday nights.
Oh, for those of us.
I'm super into my favorite murder right now, but I think everybody
Yeah, everyone
is.
loves.
Harmontown
There's
kills
a
me.
lot of those podcasts that are about like
The
different
true crime
murder
stuff.
mysteries
Yeah.
and stuff like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
or like different like story ones.
Yeah.
And those are really interesting.
Yeah.
Taking it back to the old time radio situations.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna
For
lie,
TV.
haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts lately.
I don't know what it is.
I've been slacking.
I need to
on
be
that.
revitalized, you know?
Yeah,
I
and
like
I have my
that.
moments where I'm
Yeah.
just like really into it, and then I take a break.
Yeah.
Right now
yeah.
we're on Top Model.
Yeah,
And that's been taking over a lot of our
Top
free time.
Model.
Ooh.
yeah.
He's never seen it
That gets
before.
addictive.
Oh, I thought you meant the podcast, and I was like, how?
Yeah, it's actually just
Their
audio. Like,
personality.
Honestly, would listen.
you gotta, if Jade from Top Model had a podcast, I'd be all over it. Don't
Ooh.
worry.
Oh my God.
What are your recommendations?
I listen to a lot of
more, actually.
comedy podcasts, like, by comedians, so I really like You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes.
Comedy podcast by comedians?
Yeah, I love that one, yeah.
I like the comedy podcasts
by
that are
women.
not by comedians.
Oh my gosh.
Are they really unfunny
You're
people?
right. You're right.
I would argue that this podcast is a comedy podcast not by comedians.
Yeah.
Because we're not funny and it's a mess.
Yeah, I'm having a really shitty time.
Yeah, I thought so. You looked like
I mean,
you were
we
just
dragged you guys for
dissolving,
the
but
first
yeah.
like 10 minutes, so.
Keep it going.
Well, shit. All right. Well, where can we find you guys on the internet if you guys want to shout those things out?
Literally everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
Shout
you
my
might
name
have
except
mentioned,
SoundCloud, apparently.
Yeah, not SoundCloud. It's fine.
You might have mentioned you had a podcast. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
You
did
might
I?
have.
Well, in case I didn't, myself and Joanna Spicer have a podcast called Friday Night In. You can find that on SoundCloud, but you can also find it on iTunes, and
Great, that's
you
just
can find us on
great.
Twitter at FNI Podcast. You can also find me on Twitter at
Everything left her eyes.
There's no
It's
life.
the maple syrup lag.
Like my blood sugar is decreasing within a minute. So it's H. Blais sauce for pretty much everything.
Okay.
What about you,
Literally
Alayna?
everything, yeah.
I am Miss Fender on literally everything with 2 R's.
Yeah,
Miss
if you just
Fender
want to unsubscribe.
Miss
Yeah,
Fender
real
on
quick.
YouTube. My most active is definitely Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do Twitter, Instagram.
What would your favorite social media platform? For me, it's Twitter. as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, like YouTube. Does YouTube count? No.
Yes, but
Not even.
I mean, you're not really like.
It's not a social media. It's like a
Right,
video
yeah,
platform.
Quick interaction.
It's,
Oh, quick interaction, definitely Twitter.
Twitter for sure.
I'm all over Twitter.
And your least favorite, just because I want to know.
Dragon.
I can't think of.
Honestly, probably
Facebook.
Instagram. Like, I love Instagram. I love looking at Instagram. I have an Instagram. I try to be active on it, but I'm just not good at it. Like, I don't have that artistic eye.
It takes a
I need
lot.
a theme. And I can't figure out how to
Don't
have a
do
theme.
it.
From what I
It is too
understand-
limited. I have a theme and it ruins me.
No,
It works.
I just started looking at like celebrity Instagrams, like people,
Yeah.
and they don't have themes.
No,
Because they're above that. So treat your Instagram as if you were famous as hell,
Yeah.
and you're above
and
it.
you're fine.
Honestly, treat
Right.
life like you're above it.
And you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
And that's some
words to
solid
live by.
advice.
Let's go out with that.
Yeah.
That was better
Also,
than everyone else.
how we deal with rejection.
Yeah,
Which
true.
are better than you anyway.
And it's how I deal with
Moving
cheese.
on.
I'm above it. So, full circle. We hope you guys enjoyed having a cup of coffee with us. You guys want to clink? This is our
Yes.
standard
Oh my
issue
gosh.
clink. This is going to be a quad
Do we do it at the
clink.
same time? Oh, all together?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Let's
I don't know if this is
foursome?
gonna work.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye!
Whoa, we're going to have to take the volume down. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed that collab
Oh
episode.
my god, collabs out the ass.
We're going to
this
do,
week.
like, collabs this month and then not see people for, like, 8 months.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. That's how we work here.
So in our free time, we've been getting back into Viva Pinata, and if you've never played that game, basically all the different pinatas are puns kind of off of a different dessert or candy.
You know me, I love my puns and I love my desserts too.
Yeah, that's true. So today, the benches are going to be different desserts, a little sweet,
If you guys were in Viva Pinata, I guess this is what you would be based off of?
True.
I don't know.
All right, so we're starting off with Nicole Dowling, who is Upside Down Cake.
Alex Capraro is Pandoro.
Kim Boyver is Timbits.
Shannon Shires is Bedfordshire Clanger.
We don't know who that is, but I'm sure it clangs my palate. We got Alicia McKee, who is Key Lime Pie, a classic.
Kimberly Proza is Profiterole.
Sammy Jessam is Sesame Seed Candy. I feel like I'd like that.
Sarah Booth is Booza.
Kate Convery is Maple Bacon Donut. Donut.
Taylor Collins is Knickerbocker Glory.
B. Emma Corbeil is Corn Cookie.
That's me. Sloan Four is Tea Loaf.
Angelica Feliz is Gelato.
M. Simek is Persimmon Pudding.
Rebecca Edmondson is Lemon Drops.
Taryn Parker is Parkin.
Alana Barbosa is a chocolate bar.
Lutzi is a Clutie Dumpling.
Taylor Mays is Glorified Rice. Interesting.
It's a thing. Shay A is Sheet Cake.
Megan Ashley is Asher.
Cody Castillo is Castella.
Bailey Lynn is a Linzer Tort.
Emily Tormey is a Biscuit Tortoni.
Oh, that's a tortellini. Sonia Vazbrun is Creme Brulee.
Taylor Hancock is Dock Pudding.
Sabrina Hughes is Huckleberry Pie.
Fiona is Coffee Cake.
Stephanie Oliver is Beaver Tails.
Sylvia Ehrlichman Gross is German Chocolate Cake.
Juanita Cara is a macaron.
Annie Wynn is Angel Wings.
Cassandra Lee is an ice cream sandwich.
Emma Nygren is Lemon Squares.
Becca Jansen is bechamel.
Courtney Hall is Holland Grotto.
Angela Sue is Angel Delight, which sounds like toilet paper.
Michelle North is Magic Shell Sauce.
Okay. Erin Bray is Butter Braid.
Jada Goshi is Mango Pudding.
My Elizabeth is Mighty Fine Pudding.
Ishbel Mendez is Jewish Apple Cake.
Classic. Rip me. Talia Miller is Buttermilk Pie.
Margarita is Marzipan.
Remember the Gilmores? They hated that
I
shit.
think of it every time.
Avery Labelson is chocolate-covered coffee beans.
Daisy Blossom Dottie is Dippin' Dots.
Chloe Archer is Cherry's Jubilee.
Anthony Hood is a Penny Lick.
Interesting. Isn't that a Pennsylvania staple or whatever?
Must be.
Mariah Hanna is Maraca Pie.
Liz Holbrook is Peanut Butter Cookie.
Jennifer Habgood is Goody.
Madison Greer is Madeline's.
Madison Wolfe is Jefferson Davis Pie.
Megan McNally is Chorley Cake. Skylar
Medley is Lardy Cake. Interesting.
Megan Breas is Torta Caprese.
Corey Springfield is Kettle Corny.
Ilka is Milkshake.
Jack Sedora Who is a whoopie pie or a hoopie pie. You get me?
Nicole Allen is a Golden Opulence Sundae.
Okay. Courtney White is a white sugar sponge cake.
Bridget Carey Davis is just brittle. What kind of brittle? We don't know.
My skin! Jennifer Cornwell is caramel corn.
Sophia Cock is soft serve ice cream.
Ash Roselle is rose cookies.
Jackie Burkhart is sweetheart cake.
Beth Fonseca is fondant.
Christina Contreras is Christmas pudding.
Ian Murphy is Russian tea cake.
Kendall Berg is Flame on the Iceberg, which is another thing for Baked Alaska.
Was that a Titanic dessert? Tell me.
It has to be.
Allie McGregor is Sweet Gorditas.
Megan Grilly is Chantilly cake.
Chloe Ireland is Floating Island.
Taco Roach is scones.
That's a stretch. Haley Cadwalder is Derby pie.
Camellia Malky is malt loaf.
I thought that said something else. Amanda Pete is sweet potato pie.
Maddie Pullman is Zeppeli.
Caitlin Whalen is apple dumpling.
Then drop that G.
Yeah, we don't need her.
Cody Robinson is Lady Baltimore cake.
Lauren Chavone is French toast.
Dana Daly is Danish.
Megan Wilson is lemon meringue pie.
Claire Wood is an eclair.
Anna Hernandez is banana pudding.
Sarah is Sara Lee cheesecake.
I love that branding. Lynn and Drew are Dream Whip. I don't know what that is, but...
Bridget Dubin is Dundee cake.
Hillary Gay is Watergate salad.
Fuck
that. Watergate salad.
I love that.
It's disgusting.
I like
You're
it.
disgusting.
Mackenzie Knight is Kentucky jam cake.
And Rachel Evans is a Chelsea bun.
Alright, the other Ben shows.
Well, Easter's coming, so you're all peeps.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna eat that sugary crust.
Did you put them in the microwave?
No. Have you ever done that?
No, I'm not savage.
Me neither. Okay. We got Holly Stark.
Allison Francois.
Ashley Riefenberger.
Joanna Jensen.
Mallory.
Allie Malone.
Kathleen Wynn.
Rose Barnett.
Well, thank you guys. We hope you go Google your dessert and, make it, you know?
Yeah.
Or get it, honestly. Postmates.
I mean, Sarah, you gotta make that Sara Lee cheesecake.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I want to know how she is. Is it Sandra Lee? You know, that could have been interesting. Whoa.
Nuances.
All right. Well, we love you guys, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.